Hello boys and girls. So of course it's the big game this weekend. Arsenal, Manchester United. And yeah, this is a fixture that might not have the same meaning that it used to in terms of whoever wins normally wins titles. But I tell you something, it does not take away from how massive this game is. It's right up there with one of the biggest games in the calendar in the Premier League. And I think it will always remain the same. Even before the Premier League became the Premier League and we were just playing in the old First Division, this was a big fixture. The original Battle of Old Trafford in '91. It's monumental. But listen, first and foremost, I want to send a massive shout out to every single one of you that have been sending the birthday wishes in. It's been definitely appreciated, but not the ones that are reminding me of my age. Yeah. But I'll tell you something, Arsenal could give me the best present ever. Or, of course, they could give me the worst present ever. But this video is about a combined 11. Now, I know I've done these type of videos before, and I know I've picked a whole 11 of Arsenal. Alright, but I'm not going to do what you predictably think that I will do. I'm going to actually try and be honest and not biased. And I'm going to pick the players who I feel I would have in my team. And I'll give an honest reason and assessment as to why. And of course, you can agree or disagree. I don't think there's a lot between some of the positions. There's some where there's no argument at all. And of course, there will be some where there's a lot of debate. So with that said, let's go and get into the combined Arsenal and Manchester United 1 to 11. This is going to be fun. Starting off in goal, you've got two choices. Leno, David De Gea. Let's start with David De Gea. A few years ago, he was the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. No denying that in any way, shape or form. And then the likes of Alisson come along. And then obviously you've got Manchester City's goalkeeper who's just phenomenal and goes about his business. And then you've got Leno. And the thing with De Gea is that he had a 2-year spell or so, around 2 years, where he was absolutely dreadful. Manchester United fans were calling for him to be gone. Done. They wanted Henderson back on loan from Sheffield United. They wanted him to take over as the goalkeeper. And they want De Gea out of the door because his performances were awful. He was making mistake after mistake after mistake. And this season, credit where it's due, he's been very good for Manchester United. And maybe Dean Henderson coming into the squad has actually pushed his level up again. But then you've got Leno, who's been phenomenal for Arsenal. And he's not just been phenomenal this season. He's had to get over, the injury and the setback of last season and coming back into the side. And, some people still doubting him and whether Emi Martinez was better. You're seeing exactly what Leno is all about. For me, I'm going with Leno all day long. And that's as simple as that. I think consistently over the last 2-3 years, he's been the better goalkeeper. Whereas De Gea, yes, he's playing well this season, but for the past 2 years or so, he's been poor. And Manchester United fans wanted him out. So I'm going with Leno. I'm going to go to the defence. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is we're playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. I think that's the best way of doing this. So right back, we've got a couple of choices. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Hector Bellerin, and I suppose you could throw Cedric in there as well. But I'm going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Hector Bellerin. People know my thoughts on Hector Bellerin. I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. I do think that this is a position that we need to change. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think it's been a mixed season, to be honest. I see a lot of mixed comments from Manchester United fans. Some, praising him because of his defensive abilities at times. And a lot of fans, criticising him for his attacking side of his game and that he can't cross the ball. But for this, I'm going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka because you know my thoughts on Hector Bellerin, and I don't think he's better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and he hasn't had a better season either. Going to move into the defence, and so many options to choose from and everything else. But I'm going to go with Eric Bailly. Now, there was the choice between him or Maguire or Lindelof. And I think Bailly is the better defender. And the reason why I say that is because he comes into the Manchester United team and they automatically look a better defensive unit when he's there. He makes other players look better. Harry Maguire looks all over the place. He certainly doesn't warrant his price tag. He has a few good games here and there, you know, but overall, not warranting that price tag in any way, shape or form. And I just think that whoever goes next to him, he doesn't make him look better like Bailly does. That's my opinion. So I'm going to go with Eric Bailly. Next up, we have, again, all these different options and everything else. And from Arsenal's side, we could have Gabriel and Rob Holding and David Luiz. And I think it would be a toss-up, really, between Gabriel and Holding in terms of the way that they've played this season. But Gabriel stands out by a million miles more. 3 player of the months out of 4. I know he's been out of the side the last 3-4 weeks or so, but he did have COVID and everything else, and it's difficult to get back up to speed of things. But let's not write off what he was able to do in the first 4 months or so, because he was excellent. And I feel that Gabriel and Bailly, they could work really well, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to go with for my centre-back pairing. Left back, and this is where I think we will get some debates. Now, Luke Shaw's had a good season. Don't get me wrong, I think he's had a good season. But Kieran Tierney has been exceptional. If you are very honest as Manchester United fans, you will admit that Kieran Tierney has been better and is better than Luke Shaw. I'm not taking away what Luke Shaw's done this season, because I think he's been brilliant. And I think that when you look at the Sheffield United game, you see what he brings to the team when he's not there. A bit like Tierney when he's been missing for Arsenal games. You see what we're missing when he's not there. And that's the biggest compliment to those players in particular. But for me, Kieran Tierney has been exceptional, and he's who I am going to go with. Now, in the midfield too, there was a lot of debate when we done this before the game at Old Trafford. And people were talking about Fred and McTominay and everything else, and trying to belittle Thomas Partey. Please. Absolutely no chance in any way, shape or form any one of those players gets ahead of Thomas Partey. Absolutely no chance. Thomas Partey is in the team all day long. And I'm telling you, he would walk into any team in the Premier League. It's as simple as that. He is world class. End of story. Thomas Partey goes in there. Now, alongside him, I'm going to go with Paul Pogba. I think that he's heavily criticised at Manchester United, sometimes rightfully. I think that some of his performance have warranted, criticism. But of late, I think he's been really good. And there's no doubt in his ability and what he's capable of doing. I think a pivot of Partey and Pogba would be exceptional. Unbelievable. So he's who I am going to go with. Now, in the attacking 3, first of all, on the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka. There's absolutely no debate in any way, shape or form about this. Manchester United don't even have a right-hand side. It's their Achilles heel, should we say. It's the one area that they've got problems, and they're trying to, manufacture different players in this position all the time, and they just don't work. There's no debate, no discussion, no nothing over this. Not Greenwood, not nobody. Bukayo Saka all day long. In the 10, I don't think there's any debate over this. Despite Emil Smith-Rowe being so good over the last month and everything else, it can only be Bruno Fernandes. And I hold my hands up. I did not expect this guy to be as good as he was and have the impact he's had at Manchester United. He's been brilliant over the last year. The best number 10 in the Premier League by a million miles. And I'm not even going to joke about it. He goes in there all day long. On the left-hand side, I suppose we could have some debates here. Would you bring Aubameyang on that left-hand side and then, you know, have debates with Rashford and everything else? I'm not going to have that debate. I would go with Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side. Hit and miss with some of his performances. You look at him one week and he's terrorising that side and he's a threat and his passing ability and everything else is phenomenal. And then some weeks he doesn't seem to be in the game. But that doesn't take away how good he is as a player. And respect where it's due. I'm going to put Marcus Rashford on that side. Up front, as that striker, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He may not have hit the heights that he normally does, or he has consistently done over the last 6-7 years, even before Arsenal. He is still a world-class striker, and he is still the best striker. It's as simple as that. Man United fans will talk about Cavani, for example. That's fine, you could talk about Cavani. But if you compare Cavani's goal-scoring records to Aubameyang's, Aubameyang's ahead. Let's be honest. And Cavani was playing a lot of his time at PSG. It's not difficult to score there, is it? Don't even try and put Martial in this debate, because there's just no point in that in any way, shape or form. Lacazette's a shout because of how well he's doing this season, but I'm trying to look at it as an overall objective. And yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Aubameyang because I think that he's the most lethal and most clinical striker. Despite him having a poor return this season. And I think maybe now we're starting to see one of the reasons why he might be a bit affected. Because obviously there's some personal issues in his life at the moment. And his mum's seriously ill. Which is why he's missed the last couple of games. And he's had to travel to go and be by her side. And you wonder whether that's been affecting him this season, because apparently she's been ill for a while and it's only just recently that she was deteriorating. So you're wondering whether that's played on his mind. And everybody deals with personal issues differently. You know, some players, Serge Aurier, for example, I think it was his brother that was killed. And the following day he went and played. That's him and his mindset and his capabilities of being able to go and do that. Some players would simply not have the right mindset to be able to do that. You know, it's not taking anything away from anyone. It's just how everybody deals with, you know, things differently. But yeah, Aubameyang for me, unbelievable. And I've got no doubt in that at all. That's what I'm going to go with. So there we go. That is my combined 11. Arsenal, Manchester United, Leno in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Eric Bailly, Gabriel and Kieran Tierney, Partey, Paul Pogba, Bukayo Saka, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. 6 Arsenal players, 5 Manchester United players. I think that that's quite a fair assessment. There will be some debates. Manchester United fans will obviously want to put somebody else in there, maybe De Gea, maybe Shaw or whatever it might be. That's fine. Give us your thoughts and your opinions. Arsenal fans, they could look at that and say, nah, you know what? I want Oba on the left and Lacazette up front or whatever it might be. Let me know in the comment section. I think that this is a very strong team. If this was an actual team, it could be a very, very, very good side. That's for sure. And certainly would be challenging in my opinion. But listen, like I was saying, let me know in the comment section. If you're new around here, make sure you do hit the subscribe button. And of course, make sure you smash a like on this video. Until the preview for Arsenal Manchester United, I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of it.